Hi, this is Kelly Campbell, and I'm Executive Director at Oregon Physicians for Social Responsibility. Guided by the values and expertise of medicine and public health, Oregon PSR works to protect human life from the gravest threats to health and survival. We recognize that justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion are crucial to healthy individuals, vibrant communities, and thriving organizations. And so we strive to center this understanding in everything we do. I'm not going to lie, it's been a tough year of intersecting crises and challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic, the racial justice uprisings in support of the movement for Black lives, the occupation of our streets by violent white supremacists and law enforcement, and now the climate chaos-induced wildfires that are devastating our state as we record this video. We are literally breathing climate disruption. And yet these conditions reinforce the importance of our work to bring the health voice to the movements for a just and livable future. And as a result, our membership has grown as more health professionals have become politically activated. It's our volunteers, donors, and members that are the heart of our work. And now to touch on some of the highlights of what we do, I'm proud to introduce a few of our fantastic staff, Damon Montstory, Karina Perez-Europa, and Sean Tenney.
Hi, I'm Damon Montstory, Oregon PSR's Healthy Climate Program Director. Our Healthy Climate Program works for a justice-centered transition from big polluters to 100% renewable energy. Here in the Pacific Northwest, corporations target our rivers and coasts for exporting fossil fuels. Our health advocates and regional partners have held a thin green line of resistance by educating lawmakers and the public about the health impacts of fossil fuels. We've stopped coal export facilities, oil by rail terminals, and fracked gas power plants. We passed a fossil fuel infrastructure ban in Portland that inspired similar policies nationwide. We helped pass the Portland Clean Energy Fund ballot measure, but led by communities of color, which means $50 million every year for green jobs and healthy homes. I was drawn to this work because my own mother is struggling with her health in a warming climate. And our members testify regularly about leaving a livable future for our children and grandchildren. I've found that it's very powerful to draw attention to the human impacts of climate change, especially on communities of color and people in poverty. As we rebuild and recover, we'll continue our fight against fossil fuel pipelines and terminals and rally to pass Green New Deal policies in the Oregon legislature. Next up, Karina Perez-Europa.
Hi, I'm Karina Perez-Europa. I use she, her, aya pronouns. I'm Oregon PSR's Clean Air Organizer in Marion County, Oregon. Oregon PSR has been active in opposing incineration of municipal and medical waste due to its air pollution and greenhouse footprint. We work to promote expanded programs for waste prevention and reduction, reuse, recycling, composting, and community education. The Covanta Marion Waste Incinerator, located in Brooks, Oregon, has been polluting Marion County since 1986. Our municipal garbage, as well as medical waste imported from California and Washington, are fed into the incinerator, burned, which creates highly toxic air emissions and ash. Many of the most impacted communities are Latinx farm workers and their families that live in nearby city of Woodburn. Covanta is the single largest emitter of greenhouse gases and air pollutions in Marion County, topping the charts for airborne fine particulate matter, nitrous oxides, and sulfur oxides. Despite this, we've had to fight Covanta for years in the Oregon legislature over their claim that they should receive renewable energy credits intended to promote wind and solar energy. We will continue to work to educate elected officials and the public and to promote a just and sustainable zero waste system that will create new jobs in waste diversion, reduce our trash pickup rates, and clean up the air for everyone who calls the Willamette Valley home. Next up to tell you about the work of our peace program is Sean Tenney.
Hi, I'm Sean Tenney, Associate Director at Oregon PSR. Oregon PSR's Peace Program organizes health professionals and public health advocates to reframe war, militarism, violence, and racism as interconnected public health crises. We influence public opinion and key decision makers to promote systemic change that prioritizes health, justice, and peace. We work for nuclear disarmament and nuclear justice by educating the public about the growing dangers and exorbitant costs of nuclear weapons, and by weighing in on nuclear weapons legislation and spending. We coordinate the annual Hiroshima and Nagasaki Anniversary Memorial event in Portland, which centers the perspectives of those most impacted by nuclear weapons production, testing, and use. We encourage Oregon's youth to consider their role in creating a peaceful future through our annual Greenfield Peace Writing Scholarship, now in its 13th consecutive year. We also advocate for legislation to prevent gun violence and police violence and support the growing movements for racial justice and immigrant justice, centering the perspectives of those most impacted as we follow the leadership of Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities. Our communities face challenges from war, militarism, racism, and police violence. In Portland, peaceful protests in support of racial justice are met with state-sponsored violence, including the rampant use of tear gas and impact munitions. In the coming year, we'll continue our efforts for nuclear justice, for racial justice, and for immigrant justice as public health issues. To learn more, please visit OregonPSR.org, find us on social media, and donate to support our work at OregonPSR.org/donate. Thank you.